This guy messed up really bad. I mean really bad. It is so bad that I am literally thinking that he could commit suicide or something. And that's why I think that it is important to support and encourage MeetKevin. This is why I think he needs encouragement right now, because it is clear that he's under a lot of pressure right now. And I can relate to this. I know what it feels like to be blaming yourself for destroying people's financial lives. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what happened to MeetKevin and what I actually think that he should do at this point. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mariusz Konieczny. I run Microcap Explosions, a website dedicated for microcap stocks which are ignored and underfollowed by the investment community. I also wrote 10 books on investing, one of which is available for a free download at microcapexplosions.com, so make sure you get yourself a copy. MeetKevin is a very popular YouTuber with almost 2 million subscribers to his channel, and what just happened to him is pretty sad actually. There's something that we can learn from it, and there is a message that I have for Kevin, because he's under a lot of pressure right now. Because you see, he's a real estate guy that got into YouTube, and he's a typical millennial that likes excitement, likes growth stocks, disruption, looks up to Cathie Wood, Elon Musk, and anything electric, anything that's growing, it's fantastic. So he has been recommending stocks to his followers, and I went through his channel to look at the companies that he talked about, and I listed about 20 of them. And in this video, I'm only going to feature 5 of them. But they turned out to be complete disasters, okay? I mean, they are down, like, if it's down 50%, it's a huge success. They're down like 80, some of them more than 90%. So now a lot of people are hating him, giving him a lot of negative comments, and this puts a lot of stress on him because, I mean, let's face it, the recommendations that he was talking about on his channel, they destroyed so many financial lives. And believe me, I'm not making this to bash him, because enough people out there are bashing him right now. I'm just here to draw some lessons from here and actually give him encouragement, because failure is a great teacher. Failure teaches you a lot more than your successes. So after he was talking about these growth stocks, getting excited about them, recently, as the growth stocks started selling off, he announced that he sold his entire portfolio. A lot of people got angry with him. And now he's talking about how Armageddon is coming because the Fed is raising interest rates and there will be more pain and inflation. And he's literally becoming Mr. Market right now, just being completely paranoid and fearful about everything, scaring himself and scaring everybody else. And those of us who invested intelligently from the beginning, we don't even feel this pain. Yeah, our stocks are down a little bit, but we didn't invest because of the macro. We didn't invest because of the Fed. We invested because of the businesses itself. We don't really care too much what the Fed is doing. It's not going to impact our businesses that much. And also, he was a part of the millennial money, which I think Graham Stefan was in it, Jeremy from Financial Education, a third guy, I don't know his name, and then MeetKevin. 4 of them were on the millennial money. And if you look at the thumbnails for Millennial Money YouTube channel, Kevin is not part of it anymore. So it's clear that, you know, he's under a lot of pressure. He's probably depressed. It doesn't matter that he makes millions of dollars himself. He knows people are unhappy with him. He knows he destroyed a lot of people's financial lives. And now he even talked about shutting his YouTube channel. So obviously he's not part of Millennial Money. I'm not sure if it's temporary or permanent, but you know, he's hiding and he's feeling bad about himself. So I want to give some thoughts to this. But before I do this, I actually want to go over five over his companies, what I think about them as businesses, when he recommended them, and also now, and you know, how I view them as businesses. Are they good businesses? Did he overpay for them? And things like that. And then after that, I'm going to give more thoughts. So let's go ahead and have a look at my analysis first. X-Fleet is the first stock that Kevin had talked about. And he uploaded the video on December 22, 2020. So literally, he uploaded it like right here at the complete peak. It was in this video uploaded on December 22. He said he bought 7 stocks that could 3x fast, and he invested $700,000 into each. And in the description, that's where it's included. Okay, so again, he uploaded it here, and now he was saying that the stock was going to 3x. So it was going to go to $60. No, it was going to go to $90 actually, from 30 to 90. Instead, it went to below 2. At the peak, let's have a look at what they do first. So what this company does is provides electrification solutions to, you know, trucks like this. So in other words, it takes these trucks and makes them electric. Okay, as you can see, the market cap today is about 250 million. And at the peak, it had a market cap of 4 billion. So Kevin thought that the market cap was going to reach 12 billion. Let's have a look at financials. Keep that 4 billion and 12 billion in mind. In 2020, okay, the company had revenues of 20 million. So think about this. $4 billion market cap, revenues of 20 million. It was trading at 200 times revenues. And Kevin thought it was going to go up 3x, so it was going to trade at 600 times revenues. But of course, he thought revenues were going to go up. But if you look at those revenues, what's the quality of those revenues? Look at the cost of revenues. Okay, so out of 20 million, about 17.5 is spent on the cost of revenues. So look how tiny the gross profit is. So if you, I mean, it's just not a very high quality business, okay? And of course, it's losing about 25 million because you still have to have, after gross profit, research and development, and SG&A. There's no way in the world that this business should be trading at $4 billion at the peak, and for anyone to think that it should be worth 3x or 12 billion based on this kind of financial performance. Next one, Shift Technologies. This is the video that he uploaded on November 25th, 2020, and he was talking about Shift Technologies, and he said that it's a cheap $8 stock that could 5x, and he's buying it now. This was somewhere around here, November 25th, about $8-9 stock, okay? He was saying it was going to go
5x. So he thought it was going to go to $50, and instead it went to $2. The market cap today after this sell-off is 160 million, okay? At the time that he was talking about it, the market cap was 650 million. And he thought it was going to go to over 3 billion. Let's take a look at the financials to see if it justifies that kind of valuation, because even in his video, he said that it's cheap because it's trading at 1 times 2021 revenues. So let's have a look at those revenues. But before we do this, let's think about what they do. So Shift Technologies you can buy used cars, like it's an auction website. You can buy used cars from there. In 2020, the company generated a total of almost 200 million in revenues, okay? So on surface, you can say, oh, when he was talking about it, the market cap was 650 million. Yeah, the revenues were going to grow. Okay, it's not that bad. And even if you look at it today, the market cap 160 million or something like that. So it's trading less than 1 times 2020 revenues. This is where it's important to look at the quality of the revenues. Okay, so look at this. The revenues are 195. What's the cost of revenues? Cost of sales. Almost the entire thing, right? Is the cost of sales. Look at how much they're making in gross profit. That's 6%. 6% of this. So you know what this revenue is? Think about this. You're selling a car for $10,000, okay? And you are reselling it. Let's say you buy it for $10,000 and you're reselling it for $11,000. You book the revenues of $11,000 and your cost is $10,000. So really, you're just like a broker only. So this is like this number should really be the revenue, not this number, because they're just booking what they sell the car for. And this is what they bought the car for. And if you're looking at this revenue, I mean, putting a multiple on this revenue is not the right way to do it. You should put a revenue on this multiple. So, because this is almost like being a real estate agent. They're just getting, and not even worse, because a real estate agent, when they sell your house, they get 6% commission. But they don't have to buy the house to get that 6%. They just invest their time. Here, they have to buy the car, sell the car, and all they make is about 6%. So at 650 million, when he was talking about it, the gross profit, which is really what the revenue should be, like this is the revenue. So 650 divided by 12, it was literally trading at like 54 times, like true revenue instead of 1 times revenue. And of course, that's even before any of the marketing or general administrative, which are multiples of that. So here we have, 83 million. And not only that, then they have an interest expense right here. This interest expense, look how huge it is in relation to even the true revenue that they have. So I'm not surprised that this business didn't 5x. It was not worth 650 million back then, and it's not even close to being worth what it is today. Quantumscape Corp. Kevin uploaded the video literally here. I don't know how he did it. Just at the top, this was included in this video. 7 stocks that could 3x fast. If you go to the description, it's right here. So he thought that this stock was going to 3x. He thought it was going to go to $300 per share. And instead, it went to $16 per share. The market cap today, it's about 7 billion. And so at the peak, it was 50 billion market cap, okay? And so he thought it was going to go to 150 billion. Now, let's think about what they do. Let's look at their website. Okay, so they're building a battery, okay? If you look at the description here, Quantumscape is an American company that does research about solid-state lithium metal batteries for electric cars. Now, notice the wording, research, okay? It does research. They don't sell the batteries. They just are researching them. And he thought it was a great idea to buy it for 50 billion. And he thought it was going to go to 150 billion. And they don't even have any sales. Look at their financials. You see, all they have is operating expenses. There's no revenues. Like, they're losing $1 billion, okay? And I'm not saying the battery is not good. All I'm saying is that you're paying 50 billion market cap for a company that researches batteries. Like, seriously, think about it. $50 billion. He thinks it's going to go to 150 for a company that researches batteries, does not sell batteries, does not, provide them anywhere, just researches them. And yeah, I get it that there's a potential, but like for me, there's no way I can determine whether this battery is going to be the battery that's going to be used in electric cars. Microvision, this was included in the same video. So as the 7X. So he uploaded it around here when the stock was about $7. So it did go from like 7 to 20. And of course now it is below 4. So now the market cap is 640 million. But at the peak, it was about 3.3 billion, okay? What they do, they are a leader in automotive LiDAR, okay? Like, I don't even care what it is that the companies sell. Let's take a look at their financials, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you sell. Let's see what the financials look, because you need to create revenues. As you can see, in 2019, it generated about $9 million in revenues. In 2020, those revenues declined. And you know how much stock market investors love when revenues decline, right? So let's just say 9 million in sales, okay? Based on that number, it was at the peak, it was trading at 366 times revenues, okay? 366. And if we use this number, this 3 million, it was trading at more than 1,000 times revenues. Now, I'm not talking about PE, I'm talking about revenues, okay? Now, and there's one thing that I like about this business is that license and royalty revenue, okay? Because they have a product revenue and then they have a cost of product revenue. So let's look at product revenue. Product revenue here is 5.3 million. How much money are they making gross on that product revenue? The cost is 6.7. So they're losing money on the product on the gross margin basis. We didn't even get to the SG&A. They're already losing money. The same thing here. Product revenue 1.3, and they're spending more to make that product. The reason why I like license and royalty revenue is because there's no cost associated to this. This is the highest quality revenue. But overall, the only reason why they have gross profit here is because of that license and royalty revenue, because they lost money on this, and this is the only one that has high margins and it flows to the bottom line. Okay, they have the gross profit, but from that, look at the research and development, look at the sales and marketing. So they're losing money. Kevin thought it was a great idea to buy this company at a market cap of whatever he was saying, and at the peak it was 3.3 billion. He doesn't sell his stock, so he thought it was a good idea to pay market cap of $3 billion for a company that has a revenue of 3 million or 9 million, however you want to look at it. I have a company with revenues that has about 4 million. I'm paying 20 million for it. And he thought it was a great idea to pay 3 billion for it because they have a fancy automotive lidar system. Next one, Arcimoto. This is my favorite, I have to say. This is really my favorite. He uploaded a interview with the CEO literally in February. I mean, I don't know how he does it. Maybe he researches the most popular stocks and he decides this is what he wants to cover, but I've never seen this kind of accuracy of picking stocks at the top. So he uploaded a revenue with the CEO at the peak, like literally at the peak, at $32. Now the stock is at $6. At the peak, it had a market cap of 1.2 billion. Today it has a market cap of 225 million. The reason why I like this the best is because of this. Look at these toys. Of course, it's electric. It's cool. It's wonderful. It's a toy. Can you imagine people driving this in Midwest during winter? Without even looking at the financials, okay? What I can tell about this is that it's going to be a very low margin business, like, because you have to make these things. It's not going to be a great business, but let's have a look. Okay, in 2020, revenues were 2 million, not 2 billion, 2 million. And so if we just look at that, the market cap when he talked about it was 1.2 billion on revenues of 2 million. So he thought it was a great idea to buy it for 600 times revenues. 600 times revenues, okay? And yeah, I get it, the revenues are growing, but you're paying 600 times revenues on producing toys, right? That maybe people in California are going to buy, but overall, like, I would never buy this. No, we have winter here. But let's look at how wonderful this business is. This is how much they generate in revenues and how much did it cost them to generate those revenues. Cost of goods sold, 8 million. So they have negative gross margins. They cannot even make these things profitably. And that is, so they're losing 6 million before they have to spend money on research and development, sales and marketing, general and administrative. So in total, they lost almost 20 million, okay? Producing toys that I'm sure are fun to drive, but as a business, probably not going to turn out very well, especially when you're paying 600 times revenues, which are not that good. In order for them to lower this cost of goods sold, I mean, they need to put a lot of capital into improving their system. And where's the capital going to come from when they're losing so much money and now the stock is tanking?
As you can see, if you have followed me for some time, these are probably the worst companies that you could invest in. And I'm not saying the product is bad. I don't know. They don't have any future. I'm talking about them as an investment vehicle, okay? You and I, knowing what we know about investing, we would never touch those companies, even today, even after they're down 80 or 90%, because they're not the kind of businesses that we would look at. So I'm not surprised that those stocks didn't perform well because there was no fundamentals behind them. One of them didn't have any revenues, and he didn't have a problem recommending it when the market cap was 50 billion. Some of them don't even make, one of them doesn't even make money on a gross profit basis. It produces a toy. But they are exciting, right? They were exciting at some point, and they were, of course, all of them, electric. So it's this it's this feeling of, I was successful at Tesla and everything is going to turn like Tesla. Look, Tesla, I would say, is like a lottery ticket, okay? I don't think anybody, including Elon Musk, would have thought that Tesla would have a market cap more than the entire auto manufacturing combined. I don't think Elon would even think that. So, in my opinion, Tesla is an unusual situation. It's like a lottery ticket. Now, just because you win one doesn't mean that every little disruptive company you look at is going to turn into a success. So now, because of this disaster, Kevin is getting canceled. And to be honest with you, I had my notes about this and I was contemplating between, should I roast him and just yell at him and just destroy him on YouTube, or should I encourage him? And I chose the path of encouraging because he's getting canceled right now by people, and also he's canceling himself by, I don't know if he's ending his YouTube channel or if he will ever go back to millennial money. He's canceling himself, okay? He has about 2 million people following him, millennials. That's a big deal, okay? He could change a lot of lives for the better, but not the way he is right now. If he educated himself, if he wants to be in stocks are not a computer game. Stocks represent businesses behind it. There are businesses behind it. So, if Kevin wants to change people's lives, I would suggest that Kevin becomes a student of businesses. Study businesses. Learn how businesses operate. Learn what makes a good business, what makes a bad business, why recurring revenues are better than non-recurring revenues, why margins matter, and most importantly, why valuations matter. Just because a company is growing and has a interesting product or a disruptive opportunity doesn't mean it's a good investment. It might be a good, project, but doesn't mean it's a good investment. Valuations matter. Even if you have a great company and you overpay for it, it's not going to turn out very well for you in the long run. And if you have a bad company and you overpay for that, it's like a disaster guaranteed, okay? And if you don't understand the businesses, I don't think you should be talking about businesses. I don't think you should be talking about stocks, because if you do, this is how it's going to turn out. And I don't think Kevin wants to destroy people's financial lives. I think he's a good guy. I think that he truly wants to help people. But the way he's thinking right now about investing is not the best way to help millennials. You see, millennials are like children. They want candy, okay? And he has been giving them candy, but they need a parent. They don't need candy, they need vegetables. They need to be taught why vegetables are good for your health, how in the long term they protect your health, and you're not gonna lose your teeth and things like that. That's what millennials need. Now, if you wanna grow your YouTube channel and make money from courses and advertising, give them candy. Teach them about candy. Your YouTube channel will grow. You will make a lot of money from advertising and you will make money from courses. But it's not going to be good for millennials. They're going to lose their teeth. They're not going to be successful. And then at the end of the day, they're going to be screaming at you for destroying their lives. And that's what they're doing right now. So Kevin now has this following, and he could use something positive out of that following, and he could change people's lives for the better if he learned. And one other thing is that I wanted to say, I think he should change who he looks up to. Instead of looking up to Cathie Wood, maybe he should look up to Warren Buffett. Or don't be hating the suits, the Wall Street, the suits, because not every suit is the same. There are suits that you can learn from, and there are suits that you should avoid. I focus on the ones that have good information because it's beneficial, and you could, again, change and improve millennials' lives because they need it. They live in instant gratification world, and like I said, they want candy. There has to be an adult in the room and someone telling them, look, you can be rich, you can be financially independent, you can 10x, 20x, 100x your money, but do it in a way that the probability is on your side. You see, if you want to 10x your money, find something that's 90% undervalued, or find something that you don't overpay for, but the value is going to increase. That's probability on your side. You're not going to 10x your money fast by overpaying by 1,000% and hoping that somebody else is going to pay you 10,000% of what it's worth. Probability is not on your side. And disruption is not that easy, okay? Disruption takes time. And if you don't know that, go and try to sell something to somebody. Something different, any industry. Try to convince somebody to change their entire system, change their entire whatever they're using into something just because something is better. Disruption takes time, and it takes more time than most millennials have the patience for, and it takes more time than the businesses can stay afloat, losing money while the market is ready for their disruption. Tesla almost went bankrupt. It was hours away from bankruptcy, and it doesn't come from me. Elon Musk said that.
And also in 2008, as Steve knows, we got the Tesla financing round done on the last hour of the last day. It was like 6 p.m., December 24th, 2008. And if we hadn't gotten it done then, the company would have gone bankrupt a few days after Christmas.
Tesla was successful at it. The percentage of being successful is low. So focusing on disruption and getting excited about disruption might not be the best way to get rich quick. In summary, I feel bad for Kevin. I really do. I want to encourage him. I know he feels bad right now, and a lot of people are hating him right now. Every great entrepreneur, every great investor had a huge failure in their life. Failure is the greatest teacher. Success doesn't teach you that much. Failure teaches you more. It happened to me. Failure set me up for the greatest success in my life. Don't cancel yourself. Learn from this failure. It's not about how hard you fall, but how you get up. Hopefully, you can take this as a lesson from the failure, educate yourself on the businesses. You don't have to become a value investor. That's not what I mean, because value investing is not very popular. Think of value. Realize that when you buy a stock, you're buying a business. You can buy a growth business. Just pay attention to what you're paying for it. Pay attention to the quality of that business. Pay attention to the revenues. What kind of quality do those revenues have? Do they have to spend a lot of money to create those revenues? Are those revenues high margin revenues, high enough to cover the costs of running the company? All of this is important. Recurring revenues are better than non-recurring revenues. Be careful of disruption. I know it's exciting, but disruption is most likely going to disrupt your wallet faster than change your life for the better. So I hope you will join me with encouraging Kevin to not get canceled, but to improve his skill set and use the new skill set to change people's lives for the better. Thanks for watching.